All right, Dan, so you were in D.C. amazingly Friday for the final World Cup draw. And then, of course, even better news today as we get the full match schedule. I have to imagine after being a part of this process from day one back in the summer of 2018, you must be on cloud nine.
Maybe there's a cloud 10, Lionel Messi, not just a 9. This couldn't have turned out any better. Honestly, we were watching groups F, J, and L, and once we saw who was drawn in, you saw what the opportunities that could be, and you could have had dreams of what it might happen, but we far exceeded any dreams. To get Japan twice, Japan-Holland is such a major match, and then Japan playing a play-in team, which could be Poland. Potentially, which is just a great opponent with Robert Lewandowski, and then obviously Croatia, England. England's number 4 playing against number 10. This will be Luka Modric's last World Cup, one of the greatest players of all time at Croatia. And number 4, you got Harry Kane at England. So I mean, this will probably be his last World Cup. So having them, and then having Argentina twice, having Lionel Messi in his final World Cup. So you're talking about some of the greatest players of all time playing in their final World Cup, and we get to share that right here in the Metroplex with our fellow citizens. It is unbelievable.
We toss around the World Super Bowl as far as all these matches, Dan. We're saying they're all Super Bowls in this upcoming World Cup, which will be historic, the largest of all time with the 48 teams in the expanded field. To get Lionel Messi, who this is likely his final World Cup, the defending champ Argentina, obviously you remember just the craziness when he first set foot at Toyota Stadium in the MLS Leagues Cup match the other summer. How just magnanimous, how huge is this as far as just Dallas sports history at large?
This is as historical as it gets. You're talking about, this is Michael Jordan. This is, people ask me all the time about it, and should we get tickets? This is Michael Jordan, even late in his career at his greatest. And you think about Messi and Pelé; those are really the greatest 2 players of all time. And so they're defending champions. We get to have him twice at AT&T Stadium, and so this is such a special moment to do that. But I mean, again, Luka Modric in Croatia has had so much success. An incredible Dutch team. This English team is number 4 right now, and Harry Kane in such a great moment. These 5 games far exceeded anything I could have ever dreamt of, and I've said it. I'm so thrilled for everyone involved. Our team has worked so well together, led by Monica Paul at the Dallas Sports Commission, but all the local mayors: Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Plano, Frisco, the city councils, the city managers. This has been a community effort, and now we get to see who's going to come. Hopefully, put a base camp here in the Metroplex, and we already have meetings scheduled. I mean, we got our first meeting scheduled about 5 hours ago or 6 hours ago, and now they're starting to line up their visits to come hopefully pick Dallas as their base camp.
Now, with that process, with the base camps, how quickly could that move? And I know this is probably not a time to speculate too much on who might decide to base themselves here in the Metroplex, but when you look at Argentina, I know we're talking a lot about Messi, and as you're mentioning, there are these other superstars, these other massive powerhouse nations headed here for the group stage. But Argentina plays right up in Kansas City for that first match, and then the 2 matches here. Doesn't that probably create a greater likelihood that a nation like that would want to come and base their camp here?
Yeah, I would think Argentina would want to pick a central time zone, having 2 in Dallas and then 1 in Kansas City. Holland has been here visiting, and that would be great to have them. The passion of those Dutch fans is amazing. Croatia is here for 1. Japan, I know, is very interested in this market. Don't sleep on Austria. I would tell people that that should be a very good match here against Argentina. That's a very talented team. A lot of players who play in top leagues. And then obviously you have a first-time qualifier like Jordan also playing a match. So there are going to be a lot of great games. And I also think you could wind up with a team that plays more games in Kansas City or Houston, potentially picking Dallas too, again, because it's time zone and proximity. We'll see how this all falls out. But the table that's been set for us here in the opportunity, because on top of all these group stage games, if the U.S. finishes second, they play at AT&T Stadium on July 3rd. And if Spain advances, their round of 16 match will be at AT&T Stadium. So there's a chance after group stage over that we have U.S. and Spain before the World Cup semifinal.
Just 30 seconds left. You kind of took what I was going with next, which is that the group stage matches are super exciting with those 5, but then there's the 4 knockout round matches, including the semifinal July 14th at 2 p.m. What are some of the possibilities you're dreaming of with those matches?
You know what? I'm actually going to have to go back and study the table some more to see. Anytime though you can host a semifinal, and I'll have to go back and see who's on which side. But again, to have Messi or to have France with Kylian Mbappe come, I talked about Modric, the Dutch fans. I mean, so many of these teams are already playing here. It's so fantastic. Brazil and the passion for the game there. I thought Carlo Ancelotti's done a very good job coaching that team too. The greatest thing about all of this is that we are the epicenter for World Cup 2026, and we get to all be a part of this and enjoy these games and this matches and have the International Broadcast Center here. We haven't talked about that, but that will be those games will be broadcast back almost to 200 countries. So most of the storytelling of World Cup 2026 will occur right here in downtown Dallas.
All right, Dan Hunt, congratulations to you, the entire North Texas FIFA World Cup committee. I know, again, this has been years in the making, and this is a huge win.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited for everyone.